Hey everybody, somebody give me a 5 for 5 as I get going here. Guys, yeah, we've had a X flare today with multiple other flares. Almost another X flare about 6 hours later, as you can see here with the X-ray flux, and a bunch more. We'll go over that here in just a few minutes. Also, I'm just going to touch on this today. Oh, this isn't it. This is spaceweather.com. I show you guys this all the time, but this is where the X flare came from. Okay, um, but I've also I'm going to use Helio Viewer today to show you guys some of these imaging, the extreme ultraviolet. This actually looks pretty good. I didn't want to. I have to download images for this, and it takes some time. I just didn't want to have to like download a bunch of movies to be able to show you. But this is actually going to be good for what we're going to be looking at today. But as you can tell, guys, yeah, there's some eruptions happening. We'll go over the space weather, what we can expect with the solar storm coming. We'll go back over here for just a second. They are forecasting a G3. They don't do that lightly, okay? They really truly don't. You'll very seldom see them go G3 or higher unless they really think it's going to get there. And as you can tell, this one just happened here. So on the 31st, so that's going to get here in about 2 days, which means it's a fast mover. So that's what I'll say on that end of it right now. But as you can tell, there's other geomagnetic storming here. Okay, sometimes that happens because we get hit, and then it'll start to move away from us, and then you'll get into the wake of the CME, the solar storm. Kind of like the back end, like if you're going down a boat, if you're on a boat, you're going wherever you're going, and everybody knows what the wake of a boat looks like. You can get hit right in the middle, but then the tail end of it can sometimes actually move your vessel, make it bounce around a lot worse. And which is exactly true with geomagnetic storms sometimes. So, but it's obviously the physics around that's a little different. But yeah, but you can see how we dip out, dip back in, and then we go back into this. We're going to get hit more than once is basically what I'm trying to tell you guys. I said all that just to say, hey, we're going to get hit more than once. And I really would like for you guys to share this one because obviously I'm just now starting to feel better. You guys can probably hear it in my voice. I do feel a little bit more energized. I get bogged down real quick. So I'll just say that. And if you hear me cough, well, see, there you go. Anyway, I have to cough. So if I have to pull my headset off, I'm going to cough because that's the only way I'm going to get better. Anybody that doesn't know, I'm fighting pneumonia. My whole family is, believe it or not. It's a freaking joke. It really does drag you down. So, but anyway, also, we're going to take a look at this right here. This is the end-little spiral model, and this is going to show us the biggest of the CMEs. Okay, this is from the X-flare. So watch what happens here, and according to NOAA, this is NOAA's, and that is the official forecast, and I do trust them when it comes out to this far. A couple days ahead of us, and then you get out 5 days. I really don't like going out that far because it always changes. And just to get a broad view, it's okay to look at. But if you can't hammer down a forecast out that far. You just simply can't. And I think they know that. And, I think they've even said that. That's just there to give us some sort of an idea. It's much like all the weather maps we see today just on regular weather. I mean, they'll try to forecast out 20 days ahead. And believe it or not, they're getting pretty good at it. So I look for this to kind of follow the same suit. The more we do it, the better we get. But as you can tell, guys, check this out. This is a top-down view. This is Earth, and this is a side cut. Now, the green line is Earth. So the density, as you can tell, is high for this CME. Now, a lot of times with a high dense CME, you won't get the speed. Because when something's dense, what's it doing? It takes a little bit more energy to move it, right? So it tends to move slower. So when we've got both an increase in density and then an increase in velocity, and if it hits with those kinds of conditions, it's going to be a pretty good knock in the head usually. and not always, okay, if the magnetic fields within the CME are not what we need to couple with it, then it's not going to be as bad. Vice versa is true if if most of the magnetic fields within the CME are connecting. Okay, it's just like a circuit, guys. So if take two refrigerator magnets off your refrigerator, find the positive of one side and the negative of the other, and as you get them closer to each other, they're gonna snap together, right? We've all done that as a child, or even as an adult. I think it's fun. But anyway, you take the positive and the positive, and if you got a strong enough magnet, you can't get those things to touch. That's why when we talk about like cannibal CMEs and stuff like that, they don't truly like combine. The magnetics inside that will not allow that to happen. They actually get real close to one another, but they don't combine. It just doesn't happen. At least not to the way that most people would think the word cannibal CME, right? I mean, that's a pretty extreme vocabulary word there, if you're asking me. But anyway, as you can see here, guys, here it is. It's popping off right there. Now I want to point something out. This is a double hit. And it's probably going to be more than double. And I'll show you here in just a few minutes. Right off the bat, you see the first one pop off, and then one right after it. Look at that. This is what is significant about this one. Okay, because as you look at that, it catches up. Like right away. You see that? How it looks like it almost combined? And it almost did. Just like I said, it was like a cannibal style CME. But if we want to get technical, they really don't like become completely one. I'm going to go ahead and use it as we're talking about it as one, because essentially that's kind of what we're getting this time. Okay? I just don't like using that word cannibal CME because people take that and they run with it and think it's some big, huge, massive deal. And it's really, most of the time, it's not. So, you guys know I just try to go right down the middle when I'm talking about stuff like this. I don't like to go, be on one side of the fence or the other. I'm just going to report to you what I see. So, I nowcast. I don't try to forecast. I don't try to go off and explain this or explain that. And, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what Mark Wages thinks. It only matters what the data is showing us. Okay? So, and that's what I tell everybody who wants to argue with me. Okay, you win. You win the argument. I'll just, I'll report the data. And then I don't have to say anything after that, because guess what? When I end up being right, they never come back. They'll come back, but they won't ever bring that up again. And I don't either. I just don't have any desire to be like that. Anyway, as you can tell, that is very dense. Anytime you get this black here, look at that. I mean, it's off the top of the chart. This thing will not show anything. You can't go darker than black, right? So, once it gets to black, what's it going to show you? Nothing. It's just going to continue to be black. So, it could be more dense than what it's actually being graphed as. Okay? At least this part of the model. Now, here, they can raise that up. But, anyway, watch how it gets here. So, on the side cut, we are getting hit with the part of that, denser part of that. The top cut, definitely, or the top down look, definitely right in the middle of that. So as far as NOAA's concerned right now, this initial CME from this X-flare is going to hit us hard. And that's why I put it we're in the title like I did. And that's not even any kind of close to any kind of clickbait. That's just simply what is actually going on. So that's, I'll just say that. Now, I don't want us to, forget that this was actually two CMEs. Because even though it appears that they became one, do you guys see this little notch right here? That little notch right there could be the small little gap between those two CMEs. And if that is the case, there may be a secondary shockwave in between these. And we're just going to have to wait and see. If that's the case, it's going to look more like getting hit with two CMEs. Okay? Which could, it could actually make it a little bit more intense if that's the case. Now, also, I want you guys to look down here. This is the speed. I don't usually concentrate on showing you guys the speed because the density model here usually shows a better shape, so it's easier to explain with, right? So look at this. You see that silver color? That's telling us that it's up here at 1,200 to 1,600 kilometers per second at that point, okay? Remember, 400 kilometers per second is roughly 1 million miles per hour. So when you start getting up here, you're talking 3 million miles per hour or faster. Now, as this goes out, you're going to see this silver color kind of go away. It's like it blew off the sun and started to slow down. And it does do that, okay? So watch what happens as it gets close to Earth here. See how that silver color started to go away? And it's more of the reds and the oranges, which is down here. Which is why we're seeing it graph like this here. Okay? Now, if that had stayed that speed, guys, that would have got here in a day. If that was the case. So, that would have definitely made it stronger. And I mean way stronger. You're talking almost doubling the speed here. If it was to do that. And it's not going to. It doesn't look like it's going to. I'll just say that. So yeah. So there's that model, so you guys can have a better understanding than that on that end of it. Now I seen something when I was setting up for this, and I don't usually look at this ACE data because I use the Discover data because I think it's better. We can see it better, and I've talked about this before, but I just happened to glance over and I seen this. You guys see this right here? This is the BZ. When you see it open up like that, and I'll explain a little bit deeper here in just a second. But that means we're getting hit with something right now. And I'll explain here in just a second, okay? I think it's just one of the smaller ones. It's not one of these big ones. We were expecting some small ones to hit. It doesn't mean that we're going to get into any kind of anything, really. It just means that we're taking some sort of space weather hit. That's all that means, okay? Let me do something here real quick, guys. Sorry. Do that. All right. Hey, man, it's good to see you, girl. Hope you're feeling better. Feeling good, I should say. I'm not sure if you. I don't think you really like feeling bad, but you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, okay. So let's. I do want to show you the D region. Okay. This is the D region model, and this shows us where the flares are. And how it does is, this shows it how the absorption part in the D region, and it's absorbing, it's showing X-rays hit, basically. Okay? And it shows up when we get a flare. Typically, you'll see it, and it'll be in like a bullseye pattern. You see that right there? Unfortunately, this one doesn't go back all the way to that X flare. It's been too much time. It's been over a day. Okay? Or 12 hours, I think, is how that works on these. But we've had other ones, and that's why I want to show it to you. You see how we kind of keep flaring here? Look at that one. That one there is, let me take you up here. It would be this flare. That almost was an X flare too, guys. That was like an M7.7. So we're talking like 1, 2, maybe even 3 close to X flare, right? Now this one it was a 1.1, so I'll just say that. Oh my God, man, woo! I don't haven't really talked a whole lot since I've been sick. My voice is already gone. You hear it? Can you guys hear that? I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. I don't feel bad, so I don't want you guys to think that. Just my voice is actually starting to go already. Wow. Anyway, so these are the scales, and we'll go over that here in a second. I don't want to not show you this. This is the 304. I show you guys this on SDO when SDO is working. Okay, SDO, the satellite itself is fine. The servers are what's got jacked up. They had a water leak. Seriously. We got somebody here, part of the Kool-aid Krew, that actually bid on the job to fix it. So there's nothing crazy going on with that. That happens, guys. So hopefully we'll get SDO back as quick as we can. They said January, so I'm not sure exactly when. Because I guess it was pretty bad this time. We've had it happen before, but in a smaller scale. It didn't just guys. The water leaked and it hit the servers. Anybody that knows anything about technology knows that that is bad. That's a bad deal, man. I remember working at the factory and getting, we'd have a water leak on our machines, and we called them the tunnels. There were tunnels, and that's where our bus boxes were. They had our electric under the ground, underneath the machines, and it was one of the dumbest designs I've ever seen in my life, because the machines required water to run to keep them cool, and we had holes cut in the floor up there for like if they're to allow the pipes to even come up through there. So when you would get a water leak, the water would leak on top of the bus boxes. It was the dumbest thing I'd ever seen. And they fixed it, by the way. Lots of money, but they finally fixed it after I no longer worked there after 20 years. But anyway, what I'm saying is water gets on electrical components. It's not a good deal. I'll just leave it at that. I really don't think I need to say anything else on that. But anyway, this is the 304. This is from Goes. HelioViewer actually has some pretty good resolution here. That's why I'm using this. This is our scale over here, guys. Okay? But as you can see here, it's right there. Now you'll see one pop off here too. See that one? See how far out that went? That was a pretty good one, guys. That was a decent eruption. And I know it's kind of hard to see because this isn't what we're used to looking at. Okay? But the biggest flare came from here. But what I want you guys to look at again as I run this, these other ones are flaring too. That's important to understand. Because this is on the front side. This is all looking at Earth right now. And I've shown you guys multiple times when these sunspots will communicate with one another. Basically, they erupt or they fire a flare at the same time. When that happens, it can get pretty decent size. Okay? Once you guys give me a roll call in there as I go on here. Give me a roll call in there and I'll stop and say hi to everybody here in just a minute. I'm planning on doing a members only. Maybe tonight. I know it's late. It's Sunday. But I'm trying to get them in, and I just haven't been able to get them in. My voice is just so shot, guys. So please have some patience with me on that. I'm going to get one more in before the end of the year, at least. I'm trying to get 2. Hopefully I can get that done tomorrow for you guys. Because I got this one clip I really want to show you anyway. It's funny. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go ahead and go over the scales here. But this is the BZ, guys. See what happened here? We're down to -7. We look for -6. If we're to -6, we couple with the CMEs or whatever space weather's hitting us. Okay? So that's what's happening with that. But we'll look at that here in just a second. Timothy from Canada. Surgery, what's up, brother? Good to see you, bud. Utah. Alright, let's see here. Nita, what's up, girl? Good to see you. Dirty Woods, Oklahoma, baby. George, I love it when you do that. California, that's pretty cool. New Hampshire. Awesome, Nikki. Good to see you. David's in Ohio. All right. Dustin. Hangover headaches are the worst. Well, I can't disagree with you there. Hey, Nana. From Minnesota. Arkansas, Christopher. Where we got here? Let's see here. Tacoma, Washington. Dawn. Good to see you. That would be Dawn Michelle. And then we got Dawn Gordon. Take care of yourself. Thank you. Okay. I'm not sure. You must have said something to me a minute ago. There you go, J-Poss. Yep. California. Hey, Stephanie. Good to see you. It's okay. From H-Town, baby. East Texas. Red Wine Entertainment. Love it. Let's see here. Hey, what's up, lower class citizen? Undisclosed location, baby. That's okay, too. As long as you're fine, that's all I care about. Vancouver, baby. I love my Canucks. Linda, what's up? In Texas. Linda, you're awesome, by the way. Just thought I'd just throw it out there for everybody. And guys, get up and check out, get up there and go check out Axe and Nacho, too. They're one of my favorite Canucks. They're good people, guys. Axe and Nacho, if you guys haven't been up there, great fun, great music, great comedy. They're just good people. So anyway, when we get to -6 or lower here on the BZ, the magnetics are correct for us to couple with the CME, right? So if we don't couple with the magnetic fields in the CME, like if this BZ was in the positive, that means it would try to deflect it better. So this BZ is very important. Right now we're at a -6, and I can't really give you a reason why. What's going on here? I seen that thing jumping around here. Oh, okay. I see what's up. Latest observed. Guys, we just got hit with another flare. Huh. You guys see that right there? That was green when I started the live stream. So what's going to happen is by the end of this live stream, you're going to see a flare up here. And it was at R1, it went to R2. So we'll just see if it goes to R3 or not. R2's up here. So we could get another big flare here, I don't know. As we speak, we're getting hit with a flare. Just so you know, just so you guys understand that. That's what's happening. Mist, what's up? She's in the Washington, baby. Heck yeah. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. These models probably won't be correct right now. Let me go ahead and just reset this page to check that. How about that, guys? Well, it is. Uh-oh. Guys, this might be bigger than an R2. I don't know yet. We'll wait. Here, there's a good way to show you if it's going to or not. I'll go all the way to the end here. And if this isn't like starting to come down as it moves forward, it's not. Daggone it. Okay, so watch what's happening here. I'm going forward now. You see how it's still growing? If it had, like, here, I'll go to the other flare before this. Like right here. Watch. See how, oh, hold on. Okay, so watch this one grow. Now watch what happens as it gets to its peak. See how it come back down like that? This one's is not doing that yet. It's not on its way back down. See? That's the end of the model run. So we may be in for another X-Class flare here. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Can we do anything about it? No. We can't. Well, we just did, guys. Look. Yeah, that's another X-Flare live on TV here. Live on my live stream. We just got hit with a freaking X-Flare. We'll see if it goes any higher. Because it hasn't came down. You see how it went here and then went higher again? Be interesting to see. And what sucks about that part of it, guys, this here is not going to be able to show us yet. There's a lag. Okay? So we don't get immediate real time. So let me I'll pause it and show you what I mean. If you look at the time frame here, this is UTC. So that would be 3:52 UTC, which is what? We'll just call it 4 o'clock. So that would be midnight. No, that would be 11, wouldn't it? Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, we can look and see if we can see any flaring here. I'll tell you what we can do. Hold on a minute. Let's I'm gonna X out of this, guys, and we'll do this. Sorry, I didn't expect to get an X flare while I was live. Sorry, it's something you don't expect. You know what I mean? So let's do this. Let's change this to the 94 or the 131. Let's do the 131, and then we'll go newest image. Okay, yeah. My guess is it's probably coming from right here, but only because it's the brighter part of it. But I can't give you a definite here. We can back it up 5 minutes at a time. See, that's at 3:45. This would be. These are 3-hour blocks, guys. So we're probably talking. Well, it's current, so it would have to be 4:17. This isn't coming out of R3, but guys, I want you to look at something here, okay? See where my pointer is? Here to here is R3. So I think it's the lowest level X class flare up to, like, I think it's X7, okay, is what is considered R3. Now we can do this too as we're live here. I'll go ahead and we'll reset that. Just reset it, and we'll take a look at the absorption here. Oh man. Okay. Yeah. It's still on its way up, is what I'm trying to tell you. Doesn't really mean anything as far as like massive, oh God, or I'm not, when I said oh man, well, I wasn't trying to entice any kind of fear. I'm just like, man, I really wish it would just, what I'm saying is this isn't, well, I guess it is. This one here is really close to real time. So let's, wow. Yeah, guys, I mean, you're seeing an X flare live. I mean, that's what you're seeing. So, tell your brothers, tell your mothers, tell your friends. Don't wake nobody up over this, though, guys. It ain't nothing like that. Okay? We've all still got our power. I'm still talking to you, so I mean, it ain't nothing like that, okay? So don't be going crazy like that. But what I will say, while this is, I'm going to give us a couple minutes here. Let's go over here to seeds, because I haven't shown you seeds yet. Where the heck? I thought I had that pulled up. Okay. Well, before I do that, just let me touch on this real quick, because I'm not going to talk about this a whole lot today. I'm going to go more deep on this tomorrow, if space weather allows me to. Guys, they're able to. This is a brand new paper that just came out. And you guys know I hate talking about negative topics, right? So I hate talking about this. This sucks. I hate this kind of stuff. I mean, this is cool that they're able to do this, but it sucks the implications of what they're saying here. Guys, this is an abstract. This is a study, peer-reviewed, all that, and published. Okay? They went back to the 12th century, all the way from the 12th to the 19th century, and they've compared basically our sun cycle to when we have large-scale conflict in our world. And they have been able to, according to this paper, tie the two together in a way that it's gonna shock the crap out of you when you read it. I'll just say it like that. And does it always have to happen that way? Absolutely not. Okay, but the historic data will show you that. You see this year right here, 2024 plus or minus 1. They're going off of like temperatures here and temperatures there, and there's a whole lot of science in this. Okay, so I'm not gonna like get deep into the science tonight or tomorrow for that matter, but I just want you guys to know that. Yeah. We'll talk more about it tomorrow, but I want you guys to really go look at this. So what I'm going to do... Oh, it's not even going to let me... Or is it? Okay, well... Let me copy that, alright? And let me do this. I'm going to put the link here in the chat. Do yourself a favor and go read that article. They're going to call it an abstract because it's an official published study by these guys. Okay? So please go read it. That's all I'm going to say. I don't have an opinion really on this. I'm just not that smart. Honestly, seriously, I don't have that knowledge base. I mean, obviously, I can read it and draw conclusions for myself, but at the end of the day, they're going to tell you that they're able to tie that together. And if I read this right, they're talking like next year. So, just saying. And I could have read it wrong, and they can be wrong. I'm not sure if it happened every time the way that they think it did. I'm not sure what the chances of it is, but they were able to tie that into, at least bring it into the conversation, because the sun is the most influential thing in our lives. We know that. That's a fact. It affects everything. So if they're able to tie this together, and the reason I bring this up, it isn't to say, oh God, watch out, guys, watch out. If we know that this is an actual thing, I mean, they're doing. What I'm saying is, if we know that this is the case, maybe this can help stop it. That's how I go with these things. That's how I live with myself every day. I'm not going to go to the negative part of this. Why not use something like this to bring in a positive, attitude and avenue here? If we know this is what's going on, then maybe we should have some more patience worldwide. If you know what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't have the answers for that. But please go read this for yourself. I found it that intriguing. Normally, I wouldn't bring an article like this to you. I would just send the link and stuff over to Adam and Dex. But because it directly deals with the sun, that's the only reason why I'm talking about it. So please do yourself a favor and go read this. So and that's just what that's what I'll say. I don't know how else to go about this. I wouldn't be doing you guys any favors if I just ignored this. So and again, guys, this is a published paper. It's been peer reviewed. It's not like it's just some random dude on the internet talking about something. Okay, this is different. So that's why I would say that. All right, so let's refresh that again and see what we got. Okay, it looks like it might be coming down now. Maybe we got to the peak of that flare. Let's find out. It is. Good. Okay, let me show you what I mean. Watch it go up to its maximum point. About right there. Now watch what happens. Well, it went up again. It even went up again right there. But, again there. You see how it kind of went down that time? That's the peak. There's the bot. It's starting to go back down. Okay, so we did hit the top of that. So we hit the max of that flare. Unless it decides to throw more X-ray out again, which it can. That's happened before. Yeah, see, they even show it going up here. It'd be interesting to see. That may hang on for a minute. We don't know. Guys, that flare there was actually stronger than this one. The one I already showed you. Wow. So yeah, the forecast is going to get changed after that too, probably. But let me point something out here, guys. This is a little bit different. Do you see how we had a slow graduation and then a graduation down? That's a longer duration flare. This one looks like it could be a bit more impulsive, which means straight up and straight down. And typically you won't get as big of a CME with something like that. Okay? So I'll just leave it with that. Okay. Guys, I think I am going to wait till tomorrow morning to do a members only for a couple reasons. A lot of you guys go to work, right? I mean, I get all that, right? Go to this is Sunday night, what I'm saying. Most people are in bed right now. Hey, X, I shouted you out a minute ago, brother. Good to see you. Hey, Bubba News. Good to see everybody. Hey, we got us a X Flare live, baby. X flares all around, guys. X flares all around. Okay, so let me do this. Now, before I do that, I keep forgetting to show you this. Um, Anybody over here, if we got our Aussies hanging around, they could be experiencing radio blackouts right now. Matter of fact, they are. Their cells might not be exactly where they're at, but that definitely cause radio blackouts here, guys. And it also, if you look at it, the center of it, the most intense part, was over land. Okay, it doesn't always happen like that. As a matter of fact, usually the dead center part of it's over water. Just for mathematics' sake, our planet is 70% water. Okay? So, the chances of it hitting over water is a lot greater than it is hit over land, right? And I went over this a little bit because people rip me up sometimes because hold on a minute, guys. Sorry about that. They're always like, well, nothing's happening, this, that, and the third. Well, guys, it is. It's happening. Just because it ain't happening exactly the way you think it should or happening to you at that second doesn't mean it ain't happening to somebody else. And that's why I bring this up. Because if you look at this, the good part of this flare is over Australia. Not to mention that R2 and R1 radio blackout conditions extend out this far. So we got a lot of people. Guys, listen. Look at that. Two of the most populated countries in the world are right there. So it's affecting somebody. Our first responders, it affects them a lot because that's what they use for communications. Ham radio operators. They use that radio frequency. Now I know a lot of it's GPS now too, and this can affect GPS also. So, and they have gotten a lot smarter. Most people are using both. Now, most like ambulances and dispatch companies and stuff like that, they're using both. And in my opinion, they should. Anyway. And if it was like I think if you're a hospital, and this isn't even space weather, well, it kind of is. I think you should be required to have ham radio operations. I think you should be required to have GPS. And I think you should be required to have, you can have your regular internet, but you better have Starlink too. Those people can afford that, okay? There's no reason they can't do that. So they should be able to have all four of those and make it a requirement. That's just my opinion. That stuff can save people's lives. Just saying. Angel's Wings, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Let me hit that up in there. There you go. Hopefully that showed up. I think it did. I think I showed up, didn't it? Pretty sure it did. Yep, sure did. Thank you. Okay, so let me show you guys. I haven't even showed you the Halo CME from that first one. Let's go over here. Let's go do that real quick, guys. Before I don't want to miss this. Now, see, this is prior to what just happened. Okay, so let's look at this one. Yeah, see how that one's kind of going off that way? I don't think that one's even going to hit us. It could, I guess, but I don't think it is. Let me go up here and show you the Halo CMEs from today. All right, we're going to count them because there's like 3 of them. So what we're going to do, I'm gonna wait for the time to reset here, and we're going to count these Halo CMEs. Okay, so daggone it. Hit the wrong button. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Daggone it. All right. Pause it. So anybody that doesn't know what a Halo CME is, this is SOHO. This satellite's a million miles closer to the sun than what we are. But it's right out in front of Earth, and it stays in front of Earth in relation to the sun. Okay, so we get like an hour, I guess, warning if something's coming, right? Before it gets to us. It'll hit this satellite first. So when I say Halo CME, what I'm talking about, this is a physical disc on the camera. This over here represents, this white circle, the surface of the sun. This is trying to block out the majority of the light so the imager can even get a image at all. So when I say halo, it means that I see energy or plasma, if you want to get a little bit more technical here, poking around the whole thing. When I see that, or when you guys see that, just know that it's either coming right at you or it's going right off the back. Just like looking at a tornado out in the middle of a field. If you ever see a tornado out in the middle of a field and it doesn't look like it's moving, guys, it's not standing still, okay? They do very, very rarely stand still for a minute or two. But if you see a tornado and it doesn't look like it's moving, that means it's either coming right at you or it's going away from you. So you could be really bad or really good. If it looks like it's growing, but doesn't look like it's moving left or right, that means it's coming at you. So I use that as just an example to show you, to explain that same things with the CME. If we see that energy poke around, then we know it's either going off the back or at us. Now we know that this is coming at us because, and the reason why, is it corresponded with the timings of these flares. So we know that the flare, the CME came from that flare. So we know it's on the front side of the sun. It's not on the back. So we know after we check that, then we know it's coming at us. If we see a halo signature, okay? If I confused anybody, I apologize. We can go over that a little bit later, but let me slow this down. Okay, now watch, guys. Okay, so you see this little, like little fuzz hazy look, guys. That's a CME coming at us. And if I let this play on through, let me check something here. I guess it might not have been yet. Let's just maybe I was incorrect on that part of it. Well, let's see. Hold on. Okay, so here we go. There we go. You see that? So, see how we see energy all around it? That's a halo signature. That means it's coming at Earth at some way, shape, or form. Okay? So anyway, that's one. Okay, this is two. It popped out there. So let's go here. And then let's do right about there. You see this energy? That's three. And that's it. Okay? So there's three halo CMEs. That actually corresponds with this. Remember, I already showed it to you guys. The two CMEs that popped off right away. And as you're going to see it, we'll look at it again. 1, 2. Now, there's your third one. See that? So, I didn't mention that earlier. Doesn't look like the third one's very strong. But we'll have to wait and see. They'll redo their forecast because of all this. I'm telling you that right now. Now, their G up here, that's probably not going to change for the 31st. What's going to change is what happens after the 31st. Okay? So we're just going to have to wait and see if this thing even blew a CME. It's too early to tell. Now, I can tell you right now, this is still saying R3. What that means is it's staying at R3 production level here. So this is looking to be like it could be a longer duration flare. If that's the case, it will produce a bigger CME most of the time. Okay? So this could end up being something that we need to really, really pay attention to. Because we're already going to get hit back here, guys. So in less than 24 hours, or right at 24 hours, we had two similar size flares. And it would, beg the reason here that they're going to be very similar with the CME stuff. So we're just going to have to wait and see. Now, with Soho, guys, please come over here to Seeds, please, and start clicking these buttons. So if you come over here to Seeds, and again, guys, here's the satellite right here. Here's Earth. So if you scroll down, this detects CMEs. Now, this detected one right at the turn of the day. We're now 4 hours into the turn of the day, right? Into the new day. So if this thing sees one, you'll come over here, and it will be either there'll be another one here. It'll either be like really red, or it could be this orange color. Okay, if you see that, just click on this. It'll take you right to that CME. So yeah, and actually, if it sees a CME, like right now, you see this right here. How I can look at today's. See that right there? It says 2:36 UTC today. If I come up here and try to look at today, full run day, you're not going to see anything yet. They haven't put it here yet. So I'm actually seeing more data, and I learned that a few years ago by going down here. So if you guys check this stuff out, please do. Hey, thanks, Axe. I appreciate you, man. For real. That helps out so much. I got the best mods in the world, I'm telling you. My mods are more than mods to me. They're good, really, really good friends. Some of them are family to me. Most of them are family to me. That's how I look at them. It does look like it might be kind of dropping off here, though, a little bit. But if that drops below R3, it'll show it right here. This is latest observed. These are 24-hour maximums over here, guys. So let's take a look at the space weather scales real quick, because if we get a G3, this is what we can expect. Voltage corrections may be required. False alarms triggered on some devices. Spacecraft operations, surface charging may occur. Surface charging is actually pretty bad for satellites. And, you know, I explain it to people like this. When I was a kid, you know, I was born in the 70s. Grew up in the 80s. Right? I can't tell you how many times my cousins and myself would be at my grandma and grandpa's house, and you didn't dare fall asleep on the couch. You better not. I'm just telling you. Good things did not happen to you if you fell asleep on the couch. Okay? We would take our shoes off and scoot with our socks on. And my grandma's house was so dry, I literally could be a foot away from my cousin's nose, and that static electricity would jump out and smack him right on the nose. And man, I tell you what, it was like getting smacked with an oar or something when, when that thing hits you. So what I'm saying is that's kind of the similar thing here with the satellites. Yes, I understand that's kind of a funny analogy, but doesn't that help you understand it better? I bet you won't forget that analogy, will you? Excuse me, sorry. Always take them shoes off, baby. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, see, this is how we do space weather without scaring the crap out of people. You want to get scared, you can go to the people over there. Everything they say is a, you know, it's a critical thing. It's a critical update. You go over and get my critical update. Anyway, so yeah, so that's what they're talking about there. Now, intermittent satellite navigations and low frequency radio navigation problems. Okay, in other words, what they're saying here, they may have to steer some satellites back into place, or at least try to keep them going with whatever, right? And I don't want to ignore our aurora photography. Hey, Kathy, good to see you. Jeremy, what's up? Yeah, wintertime, it gets real bad, Jeremy. It's dry anyway. Oh, no, Dustin. That sucks. Anyway, guys, but I want to point this out. I'm talking G3. There's a decent-sized chance we're going to get stronger than that. So when we start seeing G4s, we're talking about widespread voltage control problems. Like, the electric companies may have to go out and reset breakers at their transformers and stuff like that. that happens. Okay, we see a clear increase in house fires. We see a clear increase most of the time with seismic activity. It's in the data. All you have to do is go look. People come at me all the time with that, like, that ain't true. Well, okay, well, show me where it's not true when I just showed you data that says that it is. So, yeah. Anyway, and the thing of it is, the whole community now, whether you're alternative, if you want to use that term, or if you're mainstream, or I don't like using those terms, but that's what we do nowadays, right? When they're all saying the same thing, and then somebody over here saying, it's just going to be a nothing burger. Well, I guess you just told the world it was going to be a nothing burger because everybody's saying the same thing. Robert, no, I would not say that at all. And let me explain why. Because those planes probably were already down before any of this really happened. It's a horrible thing. It truly is. I couldn't imagine. Sitting on a plane, and especially if you're like 35,000 feet up, and something just, I don't know, man. They actually say that, well, we're not going to talk about that. Anyway, but, hey guys, we're down to R2, so we did hit the peak of that, okay? See this? But it is a little bit longer duration, so, I mean, let's do this. Let's come over here to HelioViewer. Let's see what we got here. Oh, look at this, guys. There it is. Right there. And let me point something out. What did I just say a few minutes ago? Did I just not... See, I love when stuff like this happens live. And the reason I love it is because it helps people understand. Not because what I said was correct. It's because now you can actually visually see what I just said. And I just got through saying, hey, sometimes when we get the bigger X flares and the eruptions and stuff, it's because we have more than one sunspot, and most of the time they communicate with one another. Right? Look. It just happened. I mean, honestly. So let's back it up 5 minutes. Let's see what we get. Okay? So this is just starting. This one down here hasn't did anything yet. We'll go forward 5 minutes. Look, they're erupting at the same time. These things are communicating with one another, guys. And that's what I'm trying to say. So what I just said earlier just got... Hope you guys understand it now. I hope that helps people understand. I don't give a crap if people saying, well, Mark got that one right. You don't have to tell that to nobody. I would much rather you say, hey, we got two sunspots communicating with each other. You don't have to say, hey, I was watching Wages World and he said that and then that happened. I don't care about that. Yeah, it's nice to hear those kinds of things because I do like to be correct, but it ain't for the reasons most people think. It ain't to like swell my head with pride and arrogance. It's because I was helping somebody understand something. That makes me feel good. So, look at that. I mean, it's right there. And we'll go ahead another 5 minutes. See what it gives us. That's the bad thing about using HelioViewer. It takes a minute to download the images. Okay, so let's go back here. What I do want to do, though, I'm going to back this up. And I want to go to the 304 here. Let's see what the 304's got for us. Okay. We back it up a couple images here. Okay, so let's look at the 304 here. This is ionized helium. We get to see plasma coming off the sun here pretty good on the 304. Okay, and you can see it barely move right there. I know it's hard for you guys to see it, but I look at this all the time. So, and I get it. If you guys can't see it, I really do get it. That's which is why I can't wait till SDO comes back. I would love that. Yeah, that's pretty cool, M. Nelson. Human resonance is so important, and I really hope people understand that. That's one, it's one of the things we can look at when our mood's all jacked up. I've talked about that at nauseum. But guys, when these things start hitting, we have to understand that number one, let me do this for you too, so I don't forget. If we come down here, see this is kind of bugging me too. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. This is the aurora oval. Anytime this is like, you can see aurora here like this, that means that we're getting hit with something. Something's causing that aurora to be that intense. Now, it's not intense. It's just not nominal, okay? It's not its baseline. So, what I'm going to do, we'll come down here. We'll go to the aurora dashboard here. This is over here at NOAA. Now, see, look at this. This is for tomorrow night. This is the aurora for tomorrow night. This is for tonight. Which this may end up being wrong. It could. This right here could be wrong. They're saying a KP of 6, probably up to a 7, I would think. But we'll see. But if you guys like to see aurora, it's going to be a good one here. If it ends up, doing what they're saying it is. But if we get to a KP of 7, this is what we would expect to see. Now that would be a G3 or bigger magnetic storm. Okay. Now a KP of 9, obviously that's a G5. Okay. And that's what we're talking about. We don't usually. I mean, that's as high as they go. I don't know if they actually have a indice that goes higher than that. But though, like a G5, do they stop there? I don't think so. I think somewhere along the line they've added like a G6, but we just don't see it because we never gotten there. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's do this. Let me go back here. We'll go back to this. Guys, any NOAA weather, space weather prediction here, any site you go to here on this web, on the internet, if you scroll down to any of their pages to the bottom, you get basically all the models I show you, and then you got the dashboards. We're on the Aurora one now. This is the one I usually show you, right? That's space weather. Okay? So, as we're looking at this, let's see what we can do here. Sorry, guys. I gotta take my headset off. Sorry about that. I didn't want to cough in the mic there. When people do it by accident, that's one thing. But when people just don't care and don't even try to rip their mic off real quick, I think it's rude. Catching somebody by surprise, that's one thing. But if like myself, I'm sick. So if I cough into the mic, it's an accident. I'm truly trying not to. Let's see here. It's funny too to watch down here. This is R1, R2, which is maybe it should say D2 right here too. Anybody catch that? Anyway, I'll keep moving with my Star Wars dad joke. R1 and R2, which would be that's radio blackout, which would be M flare. Okay, those are M flare ranges. So if you look here, you got R1 and then R2, and if it gets to R3, that's the start of X class flares. Now, as you can see here, they're saying that they're gonna have to change that. It's the 30th, so that's going to be 100%. Guys, we come back here tomorrow and look at this. That will say 100%. They'll change that, and they should. I mean, why would they not? And people get on them about that. Who cares? I just don't get it. People start jumping around like that. Anyway, and like this one here too. This hasn't been updated yet either. When they update this is probably going to change also. And that's okay. Because as it gets closer, it's going to get more and more accurate. Because this model is set up to give us 2 days historic data, and it tries to forecast 5 days out in advance. That's a long time for something that's coming from 93 million miles away to be any sort of accurate. Okay? So, yeah, let's just be real about it. You know what I mean? But I do think that this is going to hit us fast. It's going to hit us hard. I don't know how hard. And again, let me point this out one more time. The BZ is important. Okay? So when you come over here, please look at the BZ. If it's -6, that means that when we get hit with the stuff, it's going to get drawn in. That's why on your aurora, it's on the poles. Okay, we're set up like you might as well, it's like having a bar magnet going through our planet. Positive on one side, negative on the other. So when plasma hits us, which is a CME, okay, what is plasma? I haven't said this in a while. You guys know what plasma is? It's charged gas. That's all that it is. It's a gas that has a charge, which means it has a negative and a positive. So, if it has the correct magnetic fields inside the plasma, guess what? We're going to couple with it. It's going to draw it in on our poles. That's why it comes in easier on the poles. So when it comes in, it hits oxygen molecules, nitrogen molecules, and it excites them. So they get excited, and then as they're trying to get back down and calming back down to their natural nominal state, that's when they put off the color. Okay? So, and color matters in this instance because it will let you know how hard we're getting hit. Because certain types of molecules, more of them, live at different layers in our atmosphere. So if we're seeing colors that we should be seeing when we get hit that are lower in our atmosphere, typically that means we're taking a harder hit. So just understand that. And it's important. And guys, when I come over here and I start getting ready for a show, one of the first things I look at is the aurora. Because this will absolutely change every time we get hit. Every time we will see some sort of aurora. It's one of those key things that you can just go over here and look at and say, "Oh, yep, we're getting hit. There it is." You know. So anyway, now and I say all that, and I'm going to tie it right back to this just for 1 second. Okay. Everything I just told you guys, I'm glad that flare happened as I was live. Trish, we just got an X-Flare live again. I've seen you pop in here. Hey, Bill, good to see you. I had never been live during like getting hit with an X-Flare before, and she was in here when that happened to me for the first time, and it was pretty cool. She heard me get kind of excited, which I kind of am now. Not as much, but you know. But anyway, the sun does its thing, right? It can do what it wants, when it wants, and how it wants to do it. But the sun does have cycles. We know this. And what they've done here, they have taken all that and wrapped it around everything. And they basically, from what I've read so far, the 12th to the 19th century, they've looked at all that data, right? And they've been able to basically, large-scale global conflict is tied directly to, and it helps forecast those events. Our sun can. It makes it more likely for them to happen. So I don't talk about this to be on the negative end of it. I'm telling you guys this because if we're armed with this kind of knowledge, that means that we've already got to step up on stopping it. That's what I'm trying to say. And I know I'm not sitting here being naive saying that me and you and whoever else here in the chat can go stop any of this. Okay? That's not what I'm saying. Like large-scale global conflict. I'm not saying that at all. That would be ridiculous to say. But hopefully, maybe this can get to somebody's ear that can make a difference in this. And the only way that happens is if we talk about it. That's it. That's the only way that happens. And don't go crazy with it. Just show them stuff. Show them this. This is a peer-reviewed abstract paper that is now published. It's not easy to get that done, guys. A lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of smart people wrote this article and did all the research for it. So don't take it lightly. Go read it. And I'm not going to read it to you. You know, I'm not going to do that. Because it does have some word salad in it that you might have to look up some vocabulary words or whatever. But don't believe me. Go read it. That's just how I look at it, guys. So, anyway, I don't want to, like, harp on that. But what just happened here live with this flare should help you understand that this is a real thing. Okay? So, anyway, I just think everything in our world is connected in some way anyway. And I think when we see papers like this pop up, it's a notch in the positivity belt for me. Okay? Because it's allowing us to have some more understanding. It's arming us with some observations. It's arming us with what these guys did, went back and looked at the data and did the work. So, at the end of the day, do me a favor and at least come over here and click on this website and look at it for a minute. They deserve that recognition. They really, truly do. These guys, stuff like that do these things, they don't get the recognition that you might think. So it really does make a difference, even just a simple click. So, and you could download the abstract or the PDF if you wanted it. All that stuff. So, anyway, I am going to end it, guys. I'm not sure how long I've been going. I bet it's been over an hour. My voice is about gone. Yeah, right at about an hour. I am going to go ahead and end it. My voice is really starting to hurt here. Sorry. But I will be doing a regular live stream tomorrow, and I'm going to do at least one members only. So that is happening. If I have to do a members only first and then do the live stream, that's what I'm going to do. But I want you guys to understand that I feel bad because I got sick this month. I think most of you guys already know that. Hey, Trinity, good to see you, girl. Get over here and check her channel out, too. She did a live stream earlier. I shared it out, I think. I'm pretty sure I did. If I didn't, I will. But, yeah. And I got some mugs and stuff that me and my son are working on, like keychains for some merch and stuff like that. Because that is a perk to being part of the memberships. And, you know, and anybody that is membership, thank you for, you know, for being there and doing that. So, but anyway, that's what I'll be doing. And we're going to have some fun. Get out there and check out Axe. Guys, Trinity, Axe, guys, drop your links in there. They are in my awesome channel list, by the way. So all you got to do is you can scroll down on my awesome channel list. They'll be there. But we gotta support each other. That's just how it has to be. Okay? I don't see how else we do anything, to be honest. Anybody that's ever done anything with YouTube, you have to understand you're not doing it on your own. You have to have somebody there with you. And usually it takes the whole community to get somebody really boosted up. So, yeah, Franklin, it sucks, man. I'm telling you. I got pneumonia. My daughter's got it. My wife started with bronchitis, and I think she ended up with pneumonia. It's just been really, really bad around here in my house. But I feel bad when I can't get here and spend the time that I think I need to with you guys. I miss you guys, number one. Number two, it's just I need to be here, right? And this keeps my mental state healthy too. I've noticed there's something called seasonal depression. Anyway, we all get it. You might not realize you're getting it, but you are. And it's because, especially up here in the north, when you're in the winter, I guess, winter in the south would be the opposite months. But when we don't have the daylight, guys, I'm going to talk about that too, also. I'm not sure if you guys remember a while back, we were trying to figure out, people were, not really trying to figure out, but they were wondering certain things about the movement of stars and the moon and stuff in the sky. Well, somebody went to Antarctica. I guess he was a millionaire, and filmed the 24-hour sun. And I bring that up because that 24-hour sun has been in the exact same place for at least 20 years. And let me tell you why. Because they lived there for 20 years. Okay? So it hasn't moved. And the reason why I'm bringing that up, that also means that the tilt of our planet, if we had moved even 2 degrees, that would not happen. That midnight sun would go away in certain situations. It would at least change locations. And that hasn't happened. And I'm not saying that our tilt hasn't changed, because it has a little bit. It's on a natural cycle. But a drastic change, like I was hearing from some people, like 40 and 50 degree changes. Guys, everybody on the planet would know that that happened immediately, because the amount of daytime you would see would change immediately. But somebody did the 24-hour sun this past couple weeks ago. I'll try to find it, and I'll give you guys a link. But that right there, and I know, I'm not sure exactly why they were doing it. I think it was around the whole shape of our Earth conversation, which I don't get into because it causes a big argument, and I'm not going to do that. I respect everybody, whatever they think on that end of it. I'm not trying to say one way or the other. You guys know that I believe that we live on a globe. I mean, obviously. But if you want to think that we don't, I'm not going to be mad at anybody. That's for sure. But at the same time, you know, I think that's why they did that. I don't know the whole story behind it. But I'll try to find the link so you guys can at least see somebody film the 24-hour sunlight in Antarctica. Okay? So yeah. Somebody passed away? Dustin? Sorry, bud. If that's the case. You're gonna grow gills? Cabin fever? Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to pop out of here. And I will, yeah. Great advice from all you guys in there, for real. But, not yours? Okay. Alright, guys, I am going to pop out. Alright, guys, God bless, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless. Yahusha saves, and as always, you can drink this Kool-Aid. Bubba News' dad? No way. Bubba, you still in here, man? Mist, you always make me smile. Yeah, Bubba News, I won't even talk about it. I'm serious. I won't. You know, I respect everybody. I'm serious when I say that. They're welcome to believe whatever on that end of it. I'm not going to argue with nobody. I'm just not going to have that conversation with anybody. Because it is a very divisive conversation. I've seen so much nasty stuff around that subject. And I just won't be a part of it. Bubba, did you lose your pawpaw, man? If that's the case, man, I'm sorry. That sucks. It really does. I hate to hear that if that's the case. That's just not a... You know? You love the Twilight Zone? I actually like that. I like that show. On the Twilight show, maybe that's what's taking some of these planes down. Maybe we got that big old... remember that episode with William Shatner? Where he had the beast on the wing in the rain and all that? Anyway, just know I'm praying for everybody out there. All right, guys, one more time. God bless. Yahusha saves, and as always, you